today was weird because, first off, I had to be a mom.
All because Todd went and locked himself in the bedroom for 10 hours.
Anyone else working mom?
Well, maybe next time you'll be smart enough to get paid to make up stories online for people.
So a lot of people have been wondering, like, why we're so heavily focused on this group.
Yeah, I really don't understand why either, because, like, I told you in my first video, like, human trafficking. Yeah.
Quite a bit of media attention now. There was an article that came out today by former member Lydia Chung, who shared her opinions and her experience with the church, and sort of giving you guys an understanding of what she went through.
She's been very consistent too with her stories. I mean, it's the same story that the court didn't believe her on.
So there was a lot of rumblings, and a lot of the people that I was speaking to, they were just really traumatized by what had happened in 2008, and they didn't want to speak, or they were overwhelmed by what had happened, and they needed time, and they needed to collect themselves.
It takes years to fully collect yourself. I mean, it's like a scavenger hunt. You don't even know what's there. You don't know what you need to collect if you don't know what's there.
It's about why more people aren't coming forward. And right now, I will say that with the people that I'm talking to, their biggest fear is retaliation. So a lot of people are afraid to go public because, one, they're afraid of their businesses being targeted. They have fears for their own safety. They don't know if there's fears of, like, retaliation against their businesses.
Yo, man, they had a real reason, though, to be concerned. Like, all right, fine, okay. (1972). A crack commando unit was sent to prison by military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men and women promptly escaped the maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, they're still wanted by the government, but they survive as soldiers of fortune. So, like, if you have a problem, like, no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the M team.
Just mine. You know, these are not my experiences. I was not the victim in the situation. I was not victimized by this group.
Well, I'm only a month into this. I mean, you got to give me a little more time than that. I mean, give me one more month, and I will show you the biggest victim this group has ever produced. Yeah.
Even though Daniel looks like a bad guy now.
Yeah? I guess that's one way to get the D. Either letter would have been fine. The one on the right or the left. What the...
He was once a kid, a 19-year-old that got swooped into this because a family friend made him feel like his parents were evil and turned him against his family. And Shirley was a 17-year-old that was in high school that, you know, had a rough upbringing, and she didn't have the best, like, support systems within her family. And so she came into this, and this is her family. Like, that's the only thing that she knows. And
if all that wasn't bad enough for you all, allow me to tell the world. Oh, I almost shed a tear there.
With that being said, the people that I've talked to that are survivors of this group.
Just because the Heaven's Gate moment hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. But until then, I guess all ex-members are survivors.
I have spoken to so many family members from all the different people.
I don't know how I do it. I had a whole conversations with loved ones for 11 people after being a mom.
Because there are sisters and brothers and moms.
Oh my. Yeah, sorry.
This is not just Miranda ignoring her family. This is Daniel not contacting his family. It's Shirley not contacting her family. It's Hannah not talking to her sisters. It's there's Chrissy, there's Priscilla, there's all these different people that have cut off family. And the one common denominator is Robert Shinn.
Actually, no. There would be two common denominators. Robert and Katie.
He has convinced them, as Lydia said, that the outside world is satanic and they can trust no one.
And sadly, it is a testament to just how brainwashed they are when they believe that. When they have you right there in their face.
And that their family members are Satan and evil.
He's been talking to your family?
Robert had been married to Esther, and Esther and he decided he wanted to divorce her. The former member said that Robert then decided that he was interested in starting relationships with some of these other women that were in the church.
Dating during a divorce. That's how CERN blows up and brings about the hell dimension.
The issue is that Robert was in his mid to late 40s, and these women were like 20, 19, 21, girls that were barely adults that knew next to nothing about the world and were relying on him and looking to him as like a father and like a spiritual leader.
Yeah, see, like, that's what makes this so unacceptable. Like, yeah, it's one thing to date your professor when you're in college, or teacher, or a boss, or whatever, some older person you work with, whatever the case may be. But an older religious man, I mean, he's just going to make you pray, and you get flogged for all the wrong reasons.
And he had, according to the source and multiple former members, about 4 or 5 women that he was sort of grooming. They were giving them presents. They were taking them out to go on shopping trips. And then the girls were seen going into a locked room with him where he would say that he was getting massages from them.
He didn't lie? Like, okay. Catholic priests, they hid their shit. The IPLP, they hide their shit. Pretty much every religious leader hides their shit. Even David Koresh hid his shit. But this dude here, he just comes right out to other church members and says, yeah, I'm going to go in this room over here with these women and I'm going to get a massage. And nobody got upset. Nobody left the church. Nobody said, yo, what are you doing? Huh. I want to see what that kind of charisma looks like in person.
And he would claim that only the best hands, according to the former members, could touch him because only certain hands with the best massage skills could touch the holy man.
Wow, that is such a bourgeois thing to say. Like, imagine never having a shitty massage before in your life. I mean, this shit can tickle.
And touching the holy man was, a blessing.
Yo, sis, do you even know men? I mean, holy or not, they all think it's your blessing.
Behind closed doors, what was happening was apparently inappropriate contact between Robert and these women. And one of the former individuals said that he was promising that he was going to marry these women, that they would be the next woman of God as long as they would do things for him.
Yeah, any which way you look at it, that is really shitty. I mean, like, sadly, a lot of guys do that, though. They'll make all the promises in the world for something so ridiculous. A lot of women fall for it, though. I mean, well, most women fell for it. I mean,
Catherine apparently knew this was going on, but she was sort of just letting it slide. But apparently there was an argument between Catherine and Robert around her daughter and the way that Shirley or someone was treating her daughter, who was a mentor.
That really seems like quite the downgrade for whoever that dementor is.
There is a tier and a hierarchy in this group. So there's Robert, then there's mentors, then there's sub-mentors, then there's church members. And so as you move up and you're more committed and have more power, you're all under Robert and they're all doing what Robert says. But the mentors are kind of dictating what the people that are following them are. So with Miranda, I was told that Chloe is her mentor right now, and she might be, and Chloe's mentor is Hannah. So she's getting sort of like indirectly.
I think I'm finally starting to get it. I mean, what this poor girl's going through. Like I had mentors like that growing up. And holy shit. Like, well, they were called sisters, but yeah, they were just like dementors.
Mentored through Hannah, that makes sense. And Hannah is the woman of God. So people were like, you made a video about the coffee and that's a reach. And I'm like, really? No, it's not, because this is what Hannah drinks and they are told to admire and to be like their worship, their man and woman of God.
And let's just hope that Chili Juice never joins this cult. But yo, I'd be the best dementor though.
He has these women going behind closed doors, and one of the victims tells me that he's promising that he's going to marry them as long as he gets sexual favors from them. That was their allegation. And so none of the women knew about one another. They didn't know that he was promising these things.
Well, yeah, of course not, because then it would be called polygamy or orgy. Whichever.
Things to one another. They were all, again, very young and sort of brainwashed to believe that he's like the holy man. And they, after Catherine gets in a fight and Robert refuses to do whatever she wants.
This is like the strangest cult I ever heard of. I mean, like, the members just go around demanding that the leader do shit for them, and if they don't, then they're gonna fight with him. Like, is this like a Sadie Hawkins like type of cult?
She confronts the girls and they all go together to the church in 2008. And she basically tells in front of the whole congregation that Robert was married to Shirley, which was something that they were keeping secret. And that while married to Shirley, he was also promising other women that they were going to be married to him.
That new fancy brainwashing technique, yeah. Where the cult leader just stands there in church while one of the members just blows his shit right up in front of the whole church, outs him to everyone, reveals how he's been married, going through a divorce, and now sleeping around. I mean, they don't stand a chance now. Was his cult name like Chuck, but without the H?
And then these women were giving him sexual favors behind closed doors, and it was basically like an abuse of power because he was using his position as a pastor.
Oh, so the abuse of power, what he was holding over them was their opportunity to cover him in tar and feathers and shove him out into the street. Like, what did he have left at that point?
And like luring them in with like knowing that he's already married.
Yeah, because none of them really stood a chance. I mean, that marriage was going to last forever since they started divorce proceedings.
Right? So he's married to one woman, telling these other women, well, you're going to be my wife as long as you do these things. That's the allegation. So Robert apparently gets up and he tells the church that yes, he was sexually inappropriate with these women. He acted inappropriately. He claimed that there was no penetration.
Oh, he's good. I mean, it's almost like he's telling the truth because, like, nobody else has made those claims and nobody's making any claims now. So it's almost like he knows what he's talking about.
But multiple former members said that he told the church he has a high desire for sex and it's always something that he's wanted. He, like, has a high sex drive.
Oh, I heard about these guys. they have that rhesus factor in their blood and like that negative stuff in it. That brought about COVID for the rest of us. I thought I felt one again. Damn it.
And so he just wants to have sex all the time, and he loves beautiful women. And it's okay though, because he is a fallen man, and he's not perfect, right? He made a mistake, and he's deeply sorry, and he's apologizing to the women, and multiple people that were there called this super traumatic.
I'm so sorry, sis. Like, yeah, that's a travesty, I bet. Like, why can't they just all be into, like, celibacy with really homely chicks who dress up in their grandmother's curtains?
And the women, some of them got up and they accused him, and they were yelling at him, and they were horrified and outraged. And once he confessed to this.
All right, I think I got it. He made them do that. Like, he's forcing them to flip out like that because, like, he's making them perform and make another, like, brainwashed Chicks Gone Wild cult edition VHS. I think you might just be wrong in this one, sis.
Left the church. So the 4 victims that he was doing this to, they decided to leave.
They just decided to leave? And then left? Like, did he brainwash them into that? Like, was he just, like, sick of having, like, these whiny, bitchy women around or something? So he used his super charismatic brainwashing ability and just said, you must go. You want to go. Leave. And they did, right? Like, because otherwise the whole cult theory just doesn't make sense.
The power to justify these inappropriate relationships, and he has a specific type that he likes. I like guys that are 6 feet or over. I like a guy that's like taller with broader shoulders. Was 6'1". My ex-boyfriend before that was 6'2". My husband is 6 feet tall, but I've always liked tall guys. My husband is very, like, he's a dude. And I'm not trying to like, I feel like I'm being like, if a guy isn't a dude, that I'm somehow being like mean, but I've always just liked guys that are like dudes. You know how like everyone has their own preference? Even my husband, when I met him, his hair was too light. More like Mediterranean, I remember meeting my husband and I was like, just kind of pale for my liking. I'm sure Robert will deny this, and he has a right to deny this. I'm simply sharing, like, this is what these members said.
But why?
Likes them to have their hair short. They go through a process where they cut their hair and they have them dye their hair.
Oh, you know it's wrong because 2 things 20-something-year-old women never do. Cut their hair or change the color. Watch.
Deep concern for those that have been traumatized and like hurt through this process, that this hasn't stopped and they want it to stop. And it's going to take time for those people to come forward.
For once, Katie and I agree on something. This is going to take a little bit of time for the victims to come forward. Basically, however long it takes their lawyer to write up the brief is how long it's going to take for them to come forward and break their silence. So, shouldn't be much longer.
You think that, the story's going to get old or die because, you're not getting a new family member that speaks out.
You're just going to have to get some patience because I can only create these stories and these people so quickly. So back the fuck off.
No charges were filed. Nobody sued him for this.
Well, not successfully anyway.
So from a criminal standpoint, he did not break the law. So Robert now has a new influx of people.
And this influx, they could start their own football team. That's how many there are.
And then he has these other people that have been in for 20 plus years now that are his little puppets. And so he's kind of like their puppet master.
I see so much as one puppet, and I'm burning down a Build-A-Bear workshop. Oh, you want to try me? All right. Go ask Daniel Tiger and Lamb Chop all about it. Oh, wait, you can't. That's right. They were last week's feast over at King Friday's right after he went through the guillotine. So, yeah.
They didn't have access to their phones. When they wanted to leave, they were put in isolation. I mean, one person described having to escape in the middle of the night.
Well, sneaking away in the middle of the night just seems like an awful lot of work when all you really have to do is give the dude a neck rub, yell at him, order him around, and then you can just walk right out.
We want the authorities to do something about this.
I'd say you're going to get your wish.
We want the IRS to step in.
Well, that kind of seems like a weird request, but hey, sis, anything's possible for you.
We would love the FBI to investigate.
That's probably going to be a little more difficult unless it's not going to be more difficult.
We would love the LAPD.
Yeah, I think the LAPD really wants nothing more to do with you already. Besides, I'm pretty sure it'd be Minnesota's district, right?
To investigate. And right now, all we can go off is like the hearsay.
You mean bullshit.
And until a victim reports a crime, like, we can't force an investigation.
It's generally how it works. I mean, you usually do kind of need a witness or a victim if you want a crime investigated. Maybe watching Emily D. Baker has been paying off for you, sis.
We can ask, but...
Oh, you're not going to have to ask.
With the kinds of crimes that are happening with, like, you have to either be a witness to it, like, so you have to physically see that the crime happened, or you have to be the victim. And if you're not witnessing the crime and you're not seeing the physical abuse, you can't, like, report it. You could, like, it's tricky because they're adults. If they were children, it would be so much different.
Fingers crossed!
I think you need to stop talking about how more and more people need to speak up. I think the more comments that we see, like, it just needs one or two people to speak up to turn this into a Harvey Weinstein situation.
There you go. Let's just desensitize that whole phrase sexual assault just a little more, along with Me Too already, because yeah, this is just like Harvey. Because let's see, there's 11 members in this church, not like 80. First of all, not one of them has been assaulted, has been molested, has been SA'd or anything. So yeah, it's just like Harvey. And what? And that's maybe someone's bald and fat. I mean, Christ, Katie Joy has Me Too'd more people than this fucking pastor. And so I don't have to use the word allegedly or in my opinion here. I will be linking Steve McRae's Me Too post right in the description for everyone to kind of prove my point.
I hope in time that these people will come forward, because I feel like when you hear their stories from their own mouths.
Can she be a ventriloquist with... Not for nothing, it's probably the one thing I hate worse than puppets are the ventriloquist dummies. Yeah, awesome.
So the biggest thing that feels a lot like NXIVM to me, outside of, like, they don't have branding.
Not that it's a big surprise, but yeah. So she was lying when she said that they all had to get the same haircut and color because there's no branding now. So, all right. Progress.
In a sense, there's a level of collateral because you're giving personal details about your life to someone. And so you're sending weekly emails to your pastor who is then using that against you.
Okay. LB. James Charles, Unirock, well, don't really care about that. Janelle, which kind of put her in harm's way, I think, right? Let's see. Lindsay Chrisley, Amy Tucker King. There's a big one too. Holy crap. Yeah, there's quite a few actually. I can't really think of them all right at this moment, but I know that there's a long list of DMs that Katie has outed just because, I don't know, they didn't kiss her ass enough. So why don't we make the list in the comments so everyone else can see too? Let me just say now, thank you so much for your help.
I know that a private investigator did look into it from Miranda's side, but a lot of the stuff that's coming out now is stuff that they weren't privy to because former members hadn't spoken out yet.
So are you saying that you did not obtain these court records or documents the proper way and that you may have been given them by some parties involved? Because that seems to me that if it wasn't public information for you to obtain the correct way, then maybe you're not supposed to have that. I mean, if a PI couldn't get it, then maybe you're not supposed to get it either. Call me crazy, call me psychic, whatever. I have this feeling that we might actually get an answer to that at some point soon.
They teach about not having to spend money, and they think that like wasteful spending is wrong. And so instead of eating out, the church has a Costco membership.
Holy shit, I think I'm in a cult. I think the cult leader is right in the other room too. Like, I can't leave any soda in a bottle without being told I'm wasteful. How do I stop the cult behavior? How?
Make their special coffees at home, and this is a recipe that they like.
You know who else is known for the recipes? Fucking Girl Scouts. When the hell's Katie gonna go and break that shit up, huh? So long as I find out where their factory is afterwards. I like their s'mores, the little pinwheel ones with the coconut and shit. Like, yeah, they're good. I would totally join a cult for those. Even the Girl Scouts.
The coffee sounds really sweet, is what I think. Like, I don't know. Just sounds like a lot of sugar.
You know, a lot of people don't realize this, but, you know, she's got a point. It's a lot of sugar. And, like, sugar's the gateway drug to insulin. I mean...
A lot of the groceries are purchased at Costco and like dispersed to the groups, or they use the Costco membership and then they like buy in bulk and then the bulk is distributed to the different houses. That's kind of what they've said.
Awesome. Great. So basically you can forget about their Costco ever having robes again for sale or blonde hair dye or sugar or coffee. Or some quality mushrooms or LSD to better brainwash people. I mean, all Costco's do sell that. You should gotta find that like out in the parking lot.
Apparently, Robert doesn't like women that are overweight. And so weight and appearance are a huge part of things for him. He likes them to be thin. Multiple members have said that if they gained weight, they were called chubby or fat.
Imagine if more guys were like him. Like, Playboy would have been like a huge freaking thing, I bet. Oh my God. Like, I can't believe that I haven't had to live my life this shallow, vapid, meaningless way. I mean, I could have held out for people I was completely unattracted to. I didn't have to hold out for these hot guys like the hot cult leader I have in the other room right now. What the fuck was I thinking? Seriously though, it's kind of amusing to think that Katie might have found her husband repulsive when she first met him. Maybe amusing was not the right word, but no, it is. It's the right word.
Chloe drinks the same coffee.
What? No, not Chloe.
So Kelly, if you want to make this about this being an LA thing, you're missing the whole point. And
come on, Kelly. Are you trying to ruin this for the rest of us? What? Come on, pull your shit together.
If you look at photos, you can tell they've all lost a lot of weight, even B-Dash. Miranda's lost a lot as well.
You know, I gotta kind of agree with Katie on this one. Like, what the fuck, Miranda? Like, you didn't already look good enough as you were. Now you gotta go and look better. You know, I bet some of that weight you lost, I don't even know if you lost weight, to be honest, but I bet some of it, but I bet you lose more. I bet you lose more weight. From Minnesota, anyway.
Yeah, apparently Robert likes blondes.
I hope that hasn't been something you've heard a lot of in your life.
Connection online, they delete anything. So if you report something, they delete it. Like I share a video about an innocuous video that Isaiah made 7 years ago and they delete it. Like, I find a photograph from 7 years ago of Shirley and she deletes it. They delete everything. Like, I've never seen a group do this before, at all. Like, literally at all. Like, the IBLP doesn't delete shit. Like, it's all out there, which is like what I'm used to. I'm used to the IBLP having all their shit out there, right?
Huh. So you're used to public figures having all their shit out there. That's what you're saying. Because, like, this group, like, they're not really, yeah, sure, they have social media accounts, but they're not really public figures. Like, they don't use their social media accounts to do public figure things. And it sounds like as soon as you start finding their shit, they take it down so they can try to stay private. I wonder if that could be a problem.
Shirley has put her entire social media at private, because Shirley's Instagram contains a lot of guns.
Yeah, that totally makes sense why she would hide her Instagram. I mean, you always want to make sure you have a permit for those picture guns.
She's like into tactical training and she likes guns.
Oh wait, so let me get this straight. So she's like a responsible gun owner into the tactical shit and everything, you know, and you think she's a crazy bitch for it. You sure you really want to be stalking this one? Okay, now it's time for member shoutouts. I'd like to thank
Crystal, One Warped Angel, Christy Z, Skate Positive. I want you to notice when I'm not around. Lizzie Stardust, Megan Broussard, The Dark Magician, Christ Conflict, Kristen NZ, Kian O'Reilly, Hollyana from Kalamazoo, Little Miss Betty Page, Beth Yant, Chronically B Queen B, Everybody Burps, Berber, Shila's Messy Art, Tennessee Valmon, Sassy Naz, Jenny Lee, Nikki May, Stacy, Leah, Molly, Lil Mousy Girl, Ruby Tusi, That Amber Chick, Ruby Red Shoes, Ellie R, Bo Roundtree, Sky Vision, Brilliant, Carol T, Megans, Trisha Burge, Nana Hawk, Silly Rabbit, Lola Flo, Amputee, Cherry Berryman, Lola W, Mishmash, Sassy Elmo, Autistic Shill, Busy Bee, I'm fucking raking, Young Nana's not drunk, Mariana Santos, Straysky, Christina Elizabeth, Osval, Diane Harlow, T King, Rose, TB, Austin James, TB, Cheryl, Crystal, Totally Clueless, Sally Godfrey, Rena Roo, Sunny D, Sue Elliott, Clearview, Jamie Couchard, JC, Kimberly Roddy Mom, Atticus Finch, Jeanette Stevens, Jen Gerard, Poodlerific, and Yoo-Hoo Shoo Shoo.
Thank you very much for joining, and thank you everyone for watching.